Mr. Price, would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
Name is Patrick Price, ma'am. My DOC number is 597-163, ma'am.
You remember me and Mr. Roche?
So, ma'am, I remember I went up there and David Wade in 2014, but I don't really remember, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Well, let me read some information into the record and then we'll get started on the process.
Yes.
I'll read some identifying information, ask you to confirm it, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Mrs. Wise. Your case has been assigned to her. She'll start the interview with you. We do have some folks who are here in support on Zoom, Dana Price and Miss Diane Price, and both of them will be speaking on your behalf at the appropriate time.
Yes.
Price, you're classified as a fourth felony offender. You're currently serving a 20-year sentence as a habitual offender out of Lafourche Parish, simple burglary and unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling. Parole eligibility was November 16, 2022, and your good time date is March 21st, 2037. Does all that sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you answer Mrs. Wise, please?
How's it going?
How you doing, ma'am? I'm doing good.
Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Bless, ma'am. Bless.
All right. The record shows that you're a fourth offender. The information we got from the DA's office, they maintain that you're more like a sixth felony offender. What do you say?
I had some charges that was ran together. I don't know how many felonies I am. I think it's
So what do you think? If you're offender class, what would you say it is?
maybe 5 or 6.
Okay, all right. I just wondered, call out for the record how long you been in jail this time on this sentence.
This time right here, ma'am, it's like 5 years and 10 months, I want to say.
5 years and 10 months.
Yeah, it's almost 6 years.
Almost
November.
6 years. Okay, almost 6 years on this one. And how long you serving again? Call out for the record.
20 years, ma'am.
20 years. You've done 5 years on 20 years. How old are you today?
I just made 40, ma'am.
Just made 40. And how much of your life you spent in jail?
I've been in and out as a youngster.
Yep, juvenile record, yep.
Yes, ma'am. And this time right here, when I went home, and from 14, I think I might have stayed out there maybe 3 or 4 years at the most.
Okay, yeah, 14, yeah, let's see. So what's it gonna take?
I got a drug problem, ma'am. Bad drug problem. And I also was grieving too because I had lost my grandmother on my last dose. And I know it's not no excuse, but I didn't know how to deal with grief.
I'm just glad you got an answer. You got some awareness of what's going on with you. You know you need grief counseling and you know you need substance abuse counseling. That's good. That's good to know. What you thinking? I see what the record says. I just wanted to know what you think.
Yes, ma'am. I do need help. And since I got to I have learned a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I got to get in classes and really learn how to deal with my problems, you know what I'm saying? Instead of running from them and thinking that drugs is gonna heal my problem, and drugs don't heal the problem. Drugs only make the situation worse, man.
Now, when you got out in 18, you had a lot of programs, DOC programs then. How long would you say you stayed clean?
Ma'am, I only did those classes just to get out there, ma'am. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did them just to get out there. This time right here, I did the classes to better myself.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. And you are a Strive member now, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a Strive and trustee.
Strive. How long you been a trustee?
I'm a trustee. Been a trustee maybe for 3 months. About 3 months.
And when was your last write-up this time?
My last write-up was it was April 3rd, 2000.
22?
22, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It was a fight.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
What happened?
Well, I was basically wrong, ma'am. I was wrong. And that's what it was. It was a misunderstanding and I took it and I did something that I didn't have no business doing and I blew the handle. It was my fault.
Okay, all right. And I did see that your birthday was 9/3. Happy belated birthday to you, sir. I'm sorry. I usually catch that, and I didn't on your. I do want to state for the record that all law enforcement is opposed to your early release. And when I look at your supervision history, I term it as poor. What would you say about your supervision history?
Like going to see my parole officer, you saying?
Yes, period. How did you do when you were on supervision?
Man, I had a drug problem.
Okay.
So
So we can agree on that. It was poor. Now, let me get this out. Let me ask you this. Now, although you got a drug problem, you still had a lot of crimes against the person. And that's kind of concerning for me. What was all this violence about? You had some battery on the police officer. You had, I think one of them was a state trooper in 2001. What's it all about?
Drug related, man. That's all I can say. I got a long history of drugs, man. I'm not gonna lie. Most definitely do.
When did you start using drugs?
I started using drugs when I was like about 17 years old, man.
Okay, age 17. And okay. And you, like I said, you had all the programs the last time when you got out.
Yeah.
Have you putting in to go to Steve Home? Have you asked to get moved to Steve Home?
Man, but I most definitely was about to ask you before this was over with about that.
Okay, but you haven't made a request. You haven't put in an inmate request for it.
No, man.
Why not?
Because I had talked to Warren Miles yesterday, and he said he was gonna get me into the substance abuse. So I just talked to
I'm talking about the whole 5 years. You never asked. That's what I was getting at. Since you've been down 5 years, you said on this, and you never made a request. That's what I was asking. When you said drugs, you know.
Yeah, I just got to a prison where I can actually go to different classes. So I really didn't know that I can put in and request to go to Steve Hall. I didn't know that.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you cleared that up for me. Okay. Warren, thank you for answering my question. Warren, what you want us to know about this young man?
Well, Ms. Wise, I believe we can ascertain that he has a drug problem. But I'm very glad to hear him say, and we had a long conversation yesterday. He does admit to it. He does realize this has been a huge part of his life and a huge part of his problem. So I did, I'm going to get him enrolled in our Living in Balance program as soon as possible. And he's currently enrolled in our GED program. I'd like to see him finish that, get his education. And as you alluded to with the crimes against other people, I'd like to see him take our victim impact program. So I think those three things would be very beneficial to him to help him stay out.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you. That's all I had, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Can we hear from your mother, Mrs. Diane Price? You have to unmute your microphone.
Did he say me or my mom?
Your mother.
Your mother. Okay.
She was having difficulty knowing what it is, so just tell it's the microphone. It was like a microphone.
Can you unmute your phone? There's a little thing that looks like a microphone on it. Can you?
Okay, I have it, ma'am.
Go
This
ahead.
is Diane Price. My name is Diane Price, and I know Patrick Price is my son. Patrick Price is a wonderful child. He really is a wonderful Maine. I'm sorry, he went from Maine. He just fell short and was not being a leader. He was trying to be a follower, but I think Patrick will be the best he can be right now because he have been there for 5 years, and I just hope and pray that y'all can hear my cry. My son have been in jail for a long, long time, and I think he have suffered enough, and we have suffered enough, for the crime he have done, because of the drugs. Since he say that, we have to tell the truth because it was the drugs. He would be on drugs and following other people, he would have been, better off. And he is my oldest son living right now. And I just hope and pray that y'all can just give him another chance, just give him parole, he's a good, wonderful child, one man saying child, because I call my children, I'm sorry, I had 12 children,
Oh, my.
and he's one of my best children, and I miss him very, very much. He's my carpenter, he used to do work for me, like I didn't he things at home, when I be sick, he used to cook for me, and I very, very, miss my son. I miss him very, very much, for 5 years, I have been trying to come see him sometime off and on. Sometimes my legs don't want to work. Sometimes I had a little stroke in last year. But just like I keep saying, he's very wonderful right now. I know he have learned his lesson, and I know he will be better, and we all miss him. And I just hope and pray y'all give him parole.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We appreciate you joining us today. Could we
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
from Ms. Dana Price?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Diane. I'm Patrick's sister. Dana was unavailable to join. Her kids got sick at school, so she gave me the Zoom number to see if I can participate
Sure.
and speak
Go
on
ahead.
behalf. I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Diane. I'm Patrick's sister. We're actually a year and a few days apart. Happy birthday, brother. My brother, he is a great person. He does have he did have drug issues. He and I didn't get along for the most part, but he's my brother and I love him. And I totally understand that you all have a job to do as his superiors, and he has a job to do as a member of society. But I just feel like if given another chance, and if he leaves out of the area he was already in Thibodeau, away from people that were feed into the negativity, he would do better. He is a great person. He's a great dad. He's an awesome brother. He's an awesome friend. And a lot of people love Patrick. But I do feel like Patrick needs to get his life back on track so that he can be productive in society. He's very smart when it comes to, like my mom said, carpentry and plumbing, electrician work, mechanic work. He doesn't use his abilities. He really doesn't. And I feel like he had enough time to think about the things that he's done to people and not for himself. And if given the chance to be back, in the population, he probably can do better. I mean, we all have to pay for the bad things we do in life. And I know he still has, a long road ahead. But I just feel like maybe if given a chance again, he can get it right for his kids, for my mom, because she's sick. My dad is sick. He has a family that really loves him out here. And if he moves out of that area and starts over, I feel like he can do a whole lot better for himself.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you for joining us in your sister's place. We appreciate hearing from you.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Price, is there something you'd like to say to us before we vote?
Well, I'd like to apologize to my community and also apologize to my family and all the other families around here that I hurt. And if I do have a chance to make parole today, I would like to go to work release. I would also like to go in outpatient and just stay out of prison.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. I think we're ready to vote. Mrs. Wise?
Patrick, it's disappointing to hear what your family said, all the talents and gifts that you had. When you got out in 2018, you couldn't stay out. And like you said, because I just took the classes, I was just trying to get out. Now, I hope that when you take the classes this time, you take the classes so that you can stay out. That should be your goal, to get out and stay out, because you're going to get out. There's an out date. But for me today, my vote is to deny. I do think you need more programs, and you need to take the program seriously. You got high needs, moderate risk, and you have law enforcement opposition. And like you said, you need long-term substance abuse treatment. That's my vote.
Mr. Roche?
Madam Chairman, Mr. Price, my vote is the same for the same reasons.
All right, Mr. Price, and I do agree. I'm glad that you and the warden had the opportunity to speak, and he's selected some programs that will benefit you, so that, as Mrs. Wise says, you It's not about just getting out. It's about staying out. And that's what we want for you. And I know that's what your mom and your sister and the rest of your family wants for you. So I agree with my colleagues. My vote today is to deny. Recommend you take those programs that the warden has suggested. And when you complete those programs and you're eligible to reapply, you'll have a different outcome. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a blessing.